Hang on, sorry. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Ah. Hello, everyone. I hope you are all good and can hear and see me. I'll just check now. Okay, I can hear myself. We are going to do the dark tourist. Oh, sorry, that made me jump. Was not expecting that. I've got a volume. Okay, so dark. Boy, Hedrich, how are you? Taking myself off camera. Oh, dark. Tourist. Books of Venice. I'm doing good, Hedrich. How are you? Oh, things all over the place. Okay. Venice, the guide travel destinations around the 10 most eerie locations of Venice. Good. Okay. Venice, Italy is famed for its dizzying canals, bustling waterfront cafes, and many picturesque plaza that all carry an undeniable lean as the city slowly sinks. Three-year-olds are lovely, but yeah, so much energy. Oh, I hope you enjoyed time with your nephew. Enjoy while they're still young before they get older and turn into terrors. That is true, Hadwich. Okay. That small city charm is evident today, but the vibrant tourist culture did not always exist. Venice's dark history houses everything from secret places to plague insane asylums and public executions. And through these horrors are just whispers now. Their physical locations remain. So come explore the island and its surrounding lagoon if you dare. Yeah, that it does, Hadwich. And congrats and say happy birthday on his birthday, Ben. It's his birthday, if that makes any sense. Okay, so the first place is it Isola di San Lazzaro dell'Emane Amani. Venice is a northeastern seaport made up of over 100 small islands, with many of them linked together by bridges. The island of St. Lazarus history dates back to 810, but it was not put to use until 1182, where it would serve as an isolation dumping ground for the poorest of the sick and dying. As the name St. Lazarus suggests, the island became saturated with leprosy and was deemed a perilous leper colony, with diseases transmission and symptoms ranging from a large and painful skin lesions to nerve damage and uncontrollable muscle weakness. One can imagine the suffering that occurred on this desolate island with ill-equipped hospital access and medical care. That is true. That is one thing I'm not looking forward to. Okay. Once leprosy began to subside in the mid-16th century, the island was ultimately abandoned. San Lorenzo has since gone through many renovations and additions over the last few centuries, and is now the home to a large monolithic complex. Tourists are welcome, and if you choose to go, perhaps you will view this peaceful monastery with a far darker and more curious lens than the majority of its visitors. Oh, play Dr. Mask. Oh, Carnival, Carnival de Venecia to play Dr. Mask. That looks beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. As one of the oldest festivals in the world, the Carnival de Venecia. Oh, I know I'm butchering these names. So. Yeah, we have a carnival in the UK, Notting Hill Carnival. Well, yeah, what is the history? I'm going to have to Google Notting Hill Carnival. I'm not sure if there's true, but Notting Hill Carnival is very much a um, samba type of thing with steel drums. Okay, as one of the oldest festivals in the world, the famous masquerade costumes and masks have become solidified within Venetian culture. The first record of La Caravella dates back to 1268, where locals and visitors alike would spend several months of the year in masked disguise. However, a festival that once was used to celebrate the day leading up to Shrove Tuesday would spiral into masked individuals taking advantage of their concealed identity to commit theft, prostitution, and far more violent crimes. Ooh. As the 17th and 18th centuries approached Europe, so did the infamous Black Plague. With millions dying and out of desperation for a cure, the plague doctor was born. Severely uneducated and, practicing medicine based on myth and legend. These doctors dressed in outlandish costumes and masks in an effort to prevent themselves from succumbing to the sickness. It makes sense. Completely makes sense. Yes, the dressing up, the better part. As then, um, in fact, as you mentioned, based on myth and legend, these doctors dressed in outlandish costumes, masks, in an effort to prevent themselves from succumbing to the sickness. Most notably, an angular and eerily shaped beak-like facade was the mask of choice. Stuffing the beak with ambergris, lavender, mint, and camphor was believed to prevent diseases transmission, though many plague doctors were killed by the very thing they believed they could cure. As time passed, the beak-like mask was dissociated with the plague doctors, and today, ironically, is the most popular mask worn during the carnival. The columns of San Marco and Santoro. Wow. In Venice's city centre sits Palazzo San Marco, St. Mark's Square, one of the leading tourist attractions. Every visitor to Venice has surely made a point to stroll through this impressive facade, with its framed shops, restaurants and buildings. Perched on the edge of the piazza, then steps off the lagoon, stand two massive and unsuspecting columns, each bear a symbol of two prominent Venetian saints, Saint Mark the Evangelist as a winged lion and Saint Torodo, city's first prosecutor. Ooh. Why and how these columns arrived in Venice still shrouded in mystery, but experts estimate that they were erected around 1127 by Nicholas Barietti. Barietti? No. Okay. The government granted him gambling rights to occur between the two columns, which at that time was illegal. Barrett's death later marked the end of a gambling-free zone between the columns, and in the 18th century they became the site for very public executions. In fact, many superstitious Venetians still avoid walking between the columns. Would you? Ooh. Ooh. Flooded crypt of San, San, San Zaggia. Okay. A church condemned by Doge Venetian royalty. Assassins dating back to the 9th century. The Church of San Fazio is a lesser-known spectral treasure of Venice. The interior hosts a dazzling mix of Gothic and Renaissance art and architecture. As the church was expanded, burned and rebuilt over the centuries, what lies beneath the crypt, however, is the most ornate of all. Step below the foundation and you are met with a modelled and flooded crypt that holds the tombs of 8 early doges. Submerged by the water of Venice's lagoon, the crypt appears to double in size from its reflection. Some call it darkly romantic, and some just call it ghostly. Either way, its stunning sight is not to be missed. Oh yeah, definitely. I need to go there. Ah, I did put that notepad. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back through this when I'm not online and jot down all these places. Dan Ciballo Insane Asylum. Ooh, insane asylum. Venice's Island of the Mad housed a psychiatric hospital for the mentally ill from 1797 until its closure in 1978. Yeah, that is a very long time. Medical treatment for the mentally ill was essentially non-existent up through the 18th century, with many individuals imprisoned in these madhouses left to waste in isolation. It wasn't until 2006 that the Museum of Madness was created to preserve the history of this hospital. Ooh. Ooh. Including its progression of mental illness care through the centuries. One can visit the museum to see its exhibits that include actual chains, handcuffs, and straitjackets, among many other items used as restraints. Insane Asylum. Oh, the Museum of Madness. Okay. Oh, the Vampire of Venice. Oh. During an archaeological dig on the island of Lazaretto Nuovo in the Venetian lagoon, a female vampire skull was unearthed among a mass grave site for plague victims. Definitely a scary idea, Hadwich, and a very interesting place to look to go visit. But damn, I would not want to be there during those times. Ooh. Okay. The female vampire skull was unearthed among a mass grave site for plague victims. A large angled brick had been jammed into her mouth, preventing her jaw from closing. This technique, a bit disturbing, was commonly done to suspected vampires in Europe during the Middle Ages. Huh, I did not know that. That is very interesting. I'll read that out loud. Especially since, as a woman, your family could send you there for any reasons. Epilepsy, being too vocal, not being obedient, whatever. Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to be there then. Okay. The fear of vampires during this time was widespread, and many believed the corpses could chew through their burial clothes to spread infection to the living. As corpses rotted, releasing blood and fluid, burial cloth draped over the face would moisten, tear, and sink into the mouth, making it appear as if this individual had chewed through the crack had chewed through. The practice weighting large items into the mouth therefore prevented this fear from coming to life literally. Yeah. The secret Nazi base of San Diego in Algarve, a lesser-known island, essentially sits in Venice's lagoon, often overlooked by both visitors and locals. San Diego in Algiers began as a Benedictine colony in the 11th century, but saw much change through the years. that ultimately left the island abandoned in 1717 after a massive fire. By the 1800s, a political prison had been established and was used to house Venetians who voiced strong counter-militant attitudes. Ireland was gradually militarized, and by World War One, bunkers had been constructed but quickly abandoned. However, by the rest of the globe was consumed with the coming of the Second World War. The small island of San Diego in Algarve was in fact not abandoned after all. The seemingly unsuspecting island would serve as a secret Nazi base to train its divers how to plant German mines under the water and under the shadow of night. One can marvel at the crumbling facade 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 of San Diego in Algarve with its natural decay, but but perhaps be cautious of the deep waters lurking around its shores. Okay, definitely. The Venetian Jewish Ghetto. The world's first ghetto was established in Venice in 1516, far before World War II, where many believe the expulsions of Jews began. The term ghetto is actually derived from the Venetian dialect of Ghetto, the name of an old copper foundry in the area where Jews would later reside. Though Venice was one of the few areas that tolerated Jews, it by no means treated them with respect. Pardon me. The designated area of the ghetto was walled off from the rest of the city and locked each night at sunset. Outside of the walled ghetto, Jews were forced to wear special coloured hats or badges to identify them as separate from the rest of the Venetian community. Jews were also secumed to only certain lowly professions, thereby further restricting the few rights they did have. Wandering through the ghetto vernacular today can bring a sense of heavy sadness, but visiting the historical monuments and museums there provide an opportunity to better understand the truth and triumph of its history. Palazzo da Dario. The Dario Palace, or Ca' Dario, as it is known in Venice, has been deemed the palace that kills. Constructed in the late 15th century by Gennaro Dario, what was once considered a beautiful blend of Renaissance and Gothic architecture has now been overshadowed by many untimely deaths of those associated with Ca' Dario. I know I'm pronouncing some of these wrong. When Giovanni Dario died, the estate was given to his daughter, who would later commit suicide along with her husband's death by stabbing. Nearly all future owners would suffer violent murders, financial ruin, and numerous suicides through the early 2000s. The Carrio is now owned by an unnamed American buyer who is perhaps risking and testing their unlucky fate in the hands of this evil facade. The Palazzo is currently closed to tourists, and likely for good reason. Would you visit this superstitious estate? Would I visit it? Hmm, sounds like an interesting place with some fascinating history. Hmm, yep, I will go. Pelagia Plague Island. Bolivia has one of the darkest and most sickening histories, riddled with torture, disease, and death. Like many small islands in Venice's lagoon, Bolivia served as a quarantine dumping ground during both the bubonic plague in 1348 and again during the Black Death in 1630. The notable difference on Poveglia compared to other Venetian islands involved the heaps of massive group burnings of the dead and severely ill, tens of thousands in fact. Fast forward to the late 1800s, where Phoenicians were exiled to Bolivia again, but this time for mental illness. Bolivia's insane asylum was barely a step above a prison, with poor care and no means of rehabilitation. Being banished to this institution was essentially a death sentence. Rumors still linger that in the 1930s a psych doctor was running bizarre and torturous experiments on patients. Mm, mm. And at the hands of a psychotic break of his own, he later hurled himself from the top of the tallest bell tower of the asylum. Visitors to the island are prohibited, and locals intentionally avoid it due to its dark presence. Ooh. Hmm. What's the least touristy part of Venice? The Carianigo. If you're looking to escape the crowds and experience local life in Venice, Carianigo is one of the best hidden gems in Venice and must visit. Located in the northern part of the city, this less touristy neighborhood offers a glimpse into the everyday life of the Venetians. Okay. Um. Oh. Okay. For everyday Venetians. Moreover, the main street, Strada Nava, offers picturesque canals and local shops and restaurants. It makes the perfect place to explore and soak up the local culture. Furthermore, you can wander the back alleys and discover hidden gems of their own, such as small artisanal shops and hidden courtyards. In addition to that, Campiagos is also home to several historic landmarks, including the Jewish ghetto, the Church of the Madonna dell'Orto. Therefore, these sites offer a glimpse into the rich history and culture of Venice and are well worth a visit. Hmm. Oh, where's that right? Okay, sounds like this is quite interesting. Um, hmm. Okay. The Capo San Paolo is a vibrant and bustling square in the heart of Venice. As one of the largest squares in the city, it provides ample space for people to gather and socialize. Moreover, the perimeter of the square provides you with a variety of cafes and restaurants, making it the perfect place to relax and people watch while enjoying a delicious meal or drink. During your visit here, you can also admire the stunning architecture surrounding the square, including the Grand Salo Church. It is a must-see for anyone who wants to learn about the history and culture of Venice. Pardon me. About history and culture. Besides this one of the hidden gems in Venice is also the home of the famous Campo Sal Pola. Campo Sal Pola is a hub for community events and and, and festivity. festivity. Throughout the year, the square hosts a variety of events, including outdoor concerts, theatre, and performance. Hang I will be back in a few minutes. So, um, sorry. Sorry about that. I had to go help my mum put on her eye shield because she had a cataracts removed. So, thank you, thank you, Ooh, oh, yeah, da. What am I doing? What am I doing? What am I doing? Tim Best Venice Ghost Tours. The prices? Oh, reject. The tour starts with a hidden square off the beaten track where tales of murder and mystery. Oh, ghosts and legends walk. Venice mysterious tales of ghosts and murders. Oh, Gothic Venice discovering the unknown. Oh, oh. Very cool, unusual thing to do in Venice. Okay. Nah, you can't see this. Oh, you can. Okay. Reject cookies. Don't want cookies. Unless I munch. Unless cookies or biscuits that I can munch. Unusual attractions in Venice. Okay. The blood. What's this? Do not consent. Okay. The Libya Allegia. Venetian. Oh. The Libreria Acquaria Alta, Venice, Italy. This Venice bookstore has redesigned itself to constant flooding by keeping its books in bathtubs and boats. Oh, look at all. Pirates it. Wow. Okay. I better go do some research or reading now. Keeping a collection of books in a city where the roads are made of water is a dangerous idea to begin with. But Venice Lavia Acra Alta has nothing to fear since they just keep all their titles in waterproof basins. The self-proclaimed the most beautiful bookstore in the world is composed of a number of oyster stuffed rooms stacked wall to wall with books, magazines, maps, and other ephemera. Due to Venice's constant flooding, however, these picturesque piles are all placed inside bathtubs, waterproof bins, and in one room a full-size gondola. The name itself even means bookstore on high water. When the local waterways rise to build the store, the water can rise inches off the floor, which will destroy any other collection. Oh, that would worry me. That- My I'd be worried about my books all the time. I think I would move just to protect my books. Yeah, I would just move to protect my books. The store's whimsically cramped atmosphere is even reflected in its fire escape, which is simply a door leading directly out into the canal. To, to complete the look, the store has become home to more than one stray cat. Oh, who, who you are also able who are also able to escape the rising tides by hanging out atop the stacks. If you're lucky, Coco, or as the locals call her, Cocolina, will let you pet her as she lounges in the box next to the vintage postcards. I am so going there. I am so going there. Okay, I'm going there. I, if, if I can buy a book from there, hell yes, I'm fucking there. I'll go then buy one just to protect it and bring it home. Back here to the UK. The mad houses stuff. You've already done that one. Mad coloured houses. This community on a small Venetian island has taken to painting their houses in bright neon hues. Damn, they're bright. Oh my, why have they painted some pink? Hang on. Okay, sorry about that. The fisherman's island of Bonaventure sits in Venetian lagoon and, like most of Venice, is run through a system of canals. While Venice can take on a melancholy melancholy feel, Buono's cheery and brightly painted houses stand out. The area is made up of a group of four small islands linked together by a series of bridges and held together even more solidly 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 by their colourful paintings and trends. Their eye-catching colour scheme has been upheld for decades and was even beginning to fade until recent years when the practice was reinstated. Now the Buenos houses pop with bright colours that almost look photoshopped, as the homes are repainted every 2 years. Each house is painted a different colour from its neighbours, and in fact anyone who wants to paint their place needs to get approval from the local community government first. And so you want to take the house a certain colour? Hello government, I want to paint my house neon purple or blood red. Can I? That would be just so weird. But why pink? Why have people done pink? I just have an aversion with pink in general. Okay, in its in addition to its uniquely painted houses, Brno is renowned for its quality lacework and even boasts a museum of lace. Ooh! Although photography is prohibited on the premises, the Museum of Lace may be the only place in the little neighborhood where photography is outlawed, as groups of visiting photographers are a regular sight on the streets of this tiny, a bit colorful island. There was Clock Tower. St. Mark's Clock Tower. Go inside to appreciate this 500-year-old technological masterpiece. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh, griffin. Oh, crab. Mm. Commissioned by the Doge Argentino Barragudia. I'm sorry for butchering these names. In 19 in, in 1493, the glorious tour dell'Olympia, also known as St. Mark's Clock Tower or the Moor's Clock Tower, facing into the Piazza San Marco, is a marvel of the 15th century engineering. It was designed by Mario Codaccio, Codiccio, Codaccio, and built in the beginning of 1496. The clock displays the time, the phases of the moon, and the dominant sign of the zodiac. Venetian legends hold that when the clock was revealed on February 1st, 1499, it was so beautiful that the Doge had the clockmaker blinded so he could not create another to rival it. Yay. In reality, two master mechanics of the clock were made were made its caretakers, beginning to the tradition of the clock keepers live tradition that the clock keepers live in the tower with their families. The clock tower is topped by two bronze figures who strike the bell hourly. Although they were originally designated as giants, the dark patina lent them the nickname Moors, a relief of the winged lion of St. Mark, patron saint and symbol of Venice, stand on an open book below the Moors. A statue of the Virgin Mary stands one level down above the massive clock. clock face. The clock was intentionally designed to sit high enough in the square to protect from Venice's water and to be visible from the canal. On Ascension Week and Epithem- Epithem- Epithamity, Epithamity, no, carved figures of the four magi join the Moors hourly, emerging from the clock face and bowing to the Virgin Mary above them. An angel raises a trumpet in recognition of them, and the magi bow in return. Inside the tower, the clock mechanism shares space with living quarters. Guided tours climb the 19th century spiral staircase inside the tower all the way to the rooftop moors. The clock and the tower buildings have been modified and restored many times over the years, including the addition of one of the world's first digital displays in 1858. Two internal huge drums spin to display the hours and minutes in Roman and Arabic numerals on either side of the Madonna. Most recently, the clock emerged from scaffolding from the thorough overhauling in 1998 to 2006 in honor of the clock's 500th anniversary. The bell that rings today is still the original cast at the Arsenal in 1497. Okay. This spiral Scala Cantina del Balorbo. This palatial spiral staircase was so unusual the name Snell was given to the noble family who built it. Oh. Hidden in the centre of Venice, unknown to most tourists, is a spiraling Snell staircase that winds up the tower-like facade of a historic palazzo. It was so unique at the time it was built at the very end of the 15th century that it's responsible for naming both the palace it's attached to and the entire branch of the Continental noble family that lived there. Secluded in the middle of the Siesta of San Marco, the Palazzo's crowning feature is the large interior flight of winding stairs that spiral up into the sky, named the Scala del Bolavo, translates to "of the Snell" in the Venetian dialect, referring to the spiral shape of the Scala staircase. Okay. The winding tower was so popular that Balavo's name became forever attached to not only the palace but also the Continenti family, one of the founding families of Venice, who had the spiraling facade built to showcase their great wealth. The Scala with its attached arcades spiral 90 feet high, combining elements of Gothic, Renaissance, and Byzantine styles. Visitors can climb to the top of the 80 steps, from which there is a beautiful view of the rooftops of the city. The archaeological gem is depicted in Jacopo di Barbari's famous bird's-eye view of Venice, painted in 1500s. Now held at the Museo Corrector, the storybook staircase also made a prominent appearance in Oslo Welles' 1952 adaptation of Shakespeare's Othello. Oh, now, tomb of, tomb of Antonio Casanova. Cavanagh. A sinister pyramid in the Thraki contains the heart of the famous neoclassical sculpture. Located in the Basilica di Santa Marina Grotta di Frari, known simply as the Frari Church. Okay, Frari Church, that's what I'm going to call it, instead of saying that big ass long word. The heart of Italian neoclassical sculptor Antonio Cavanagh is enshrined in a monument that strangely differs from many other tombs in the remarkable Gothic basilica. The pyramid-shaped structure with its luminous statues was created by five of Cavanova's students after the master's death in 1822. It's based off a design that Cavanova himself had drafted for the tomb of the Venetian painter Titan. The pyramid shape and other details are Masonic symbols, a nod to Kavanagh's Freemason membership. Ooh. Only the sculpture's heart is located within the monument in the nave of Frari, a white marbled memorial backdrop by the red brick of the 14th century church. The artist's right hand is preserved in the Accademia di Belle Arti in Venice. The rest of his body is buried in his hometown of Paciago in Tapio, Palermo, a church that was built based on his designs. No, I'll just get one of those. No. Yes. Finish. Italy. Very cool. They're dead. Okay. Venice and the Cult of Death. Okay. Day of the Dead, Venice. November 2nd is All Souls Day, shortened here to Amorti, the dead. Okay. This is a day, even if it isn't a holiday. Oh. Venice and the Cult of Death. Okay. Usually large quantities of broad beans were prepared, which were thought to be linked to the afterlife world. That's why on November 2nd, when the dead are commemorated in Venice, they prepared the beans for the dead. Tasty sweets and dyes that come from an ancient tradition. Happy time celebrate. Loved ones leave flowers behind at grave sites across Italy on All Souls' Day. People across Italy visit cemeteries and pay homage to departed on All Souls' Day, but customs and symbolic rituals vary from one city of a region to the next. Hmm. Hmm. The Carnival of Venice. Hmm. The Carnival of Venice is an annual visual festival held in Venice, Italy. Famous throughout the world for its elaborate costumes and masks, the carnival ends on Shrove Tuesday. Mardi Gras or Mardi Gras, which is the day before the start of Lent or Ash Wednesday. The carnival traces its origins to the Middle Ages, where existing for several centuries until it was abolished in 1797. The tradition was revived in 1979 as the modern event now attracts approximately 3 million visitors annually. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna stop for a bit. I might become live again later. Who knows? And I hope you all have a lovely night. And thank you for watching and take care. And